In 2015, Texas changed a law aimed at keeping students out of the courtroom for missing class. But state data shows this year the number of students going before a judge hit a near record high since the law change, more than 12,000. But Kxan investigator Kelly Wiley found no state agency tracks what happens after students end up in court. And experts say that means it's impossible to know if the system is working.
Hello, how are you? Are you Nathaniel? Are you Nathaniel?
No, but I'm his older brother.
Oh, okay. Is your mom here, Rosa?
Yes.
Okay. Is Nathaniel here?
Yes.
Okay. Could you go get him for me?
Yes.
I just got some civil stuff for him.
Near the end of last school year, a Williamson County constable was searching for 17-year-old Nathaniel Carl to serve him for missing too many days of school.
I'm coming outside.
Okay.
Is it because of truancy?
Yeah.
In Texas, the charge is truant conduct.
He doesn't want to go to school?
Before a 2015 change to state law, it was a misdemeanor crime. For nearly the past decade, districts have only been able to file civil complaints against students. Georgetown Independent School District filed this complaint against Nathaniel for missing 17 days between January and March this year.
Haven't been going to school recently?
A lot of stuff is going on lately. I was so scared. I was like, oh, this is my day that I'm going to jail.
I've been trying to get him to go to school ever since something happened with him and his father.
Gotcha.
That he's been scared to go to school because he's scared his dad's going to go pick him up.
Nathaniel's dad was arrested 2 months earlier on multiple charges. For much of the school year, Nathaniel's father was not yet in jail, which is why he says he did not go to school.
The teacher kept on telling me, oh, you're in a safe place and all that. And I was like, no, I'm not.
Nathaniel is one of thousands of children summoned to truancy court in Texas this year. Soon after the law change in 2015, state data shows Texas school districts referred significantly less students to court. But a Kxan analysis found in the years since, and especially after the COVID-19 pandemic, that number grew, this year topping 12,000. For Nathaniel's mom, Rosa, the summons was another obstacle in a challenging situation.
Yeah, I probably won't have a ride, so I don't know.
Call them and they may have a solution for that. Okay. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah,
it was very stressful.
My car's in the workings of getting towed to the shop as we speak.
Cameras are not allowed inside truancy court, but our team observed multiple cases in Central Texas. We didn't see any attorneys representing parents or students. Judges are not required to appoint them in civil cases. Judges can create programs that address truancy in creative ways. They can also strip students of their driver's license or order them to get a GED, a decision that would require them to withdraw from school. And as our team searched for records detailing the types of orders justices of the peace and municipal judges are making, we found no state agency is tracking what happens in Texas courts that handle truancy.
Paige Duggins-Clay is a legal analyst with education nonprofit IDRA.
The fact that we don't know, at least globally through the data, it should be very concerning, because how can we make smart, informed policy decisions about whether these interventions are working? What happened next? Has it led to a child getting back in school, or did it lead to dropout?
Truancy court is pretty much the last resort for us.
Heather Stoner oversees the truancy team at Georgetown ISD that referred Nathaniel and 71 other student cases to court last school year.
It's not ideal for us because a lot of times truancy court ends not successfully because the hurdle to overcome for a student is so high at that point. I do think what is on the plates of our administrators, our campus leaders, is huge. So for them to be able to dedicate the amount of time that it takes to have individualized conversations with families about specifically attendance, it would be fantastic if there were additional resources.
Nathaniel's case and most of those from Georgetown land in Justice of the Peace Precinct 3, Judge Evelyn McLean's court.
I was shaking all the time, shaking my boots the whole time, like I was speaking to her.
She only gave us two options, which was homeschool or GED. I know GED for Nathaniel
would not be well because he's a special ed student.
So I chose homeschool.
Judge McLean wouldn't discuss Nathaniel's case because of confidentiality rules, but she explained how she generally handles truancy.
Do you think the court is an effective tool for you to get to the root of the issue with these students?
Not always, but there are times that we can be. I've seen a lot of different reasons, whether it be like the situation I referred to earlier where a student lost his father to suicide, or divorce is a big one that causes kiddos to shut down, bullying, kids not really understanding the schoolwork and feeling behind. I have had a few students that have come into court who actually felt suicidal while we've been in court, and we've stopped. Obviously, truancy is not that important in the big scheme of things when it comes to their mental health.
I think that's a lot. It's way too much. And I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do now?
Ahead, we reveal the number of students referred for truant conduct more than doubled in a single year in Williamson County. Which district has the most cases and why? When Rhonda Redden took over as Justice of the Peace Precinct 4 in the southeastern part of Williamson County last year, she said she felt she was being tested.
They were just waiting to see what I was going to do.
JPs handle many types of cases in Texas, including civil complaints from districts about students who miss too many days of school.
I've told them, when it lands on my desk, I'm going to do my absolute best to help you solve the problem.
What did you see?
Oh, everybody started filing.
Court records show truancy cases in Redden's precinct jumped nearly 1,000% from 38 the year before she took office to 408.
So the big driving factors are going to be Hutto, Jarrell, and Taylor, because they are much bigger school districts.
Redden says she receives the most cases from Hutto ISD. We asked Hutto for its data on truancy increases. The district couldn't determine from its records how many cases were against students and how many were against parents who can be charged with a criminal misdemeanor if their children skip school. But the combined total was nearly 600.
There was also a big push with a couple of the different school districts that wanted to get their truancy under control.
Hutto ISD declined our interview request. In a statement, the district said it does not employ dedicated truancy officers and instead uses its police department and staff to improve attendance with home visits and other family support measures. Within the influx of cases in Judge Redden's court, there are some she legally can't take on. The state says schools should not refer students to truancy court who are absent because they're pregnant, homeless, or in a state foster program.
I've got kids that are homeless. I've got kids that have, they're in foster systems and all kinds of stuff. I can't even hear those cases. But if somehow or another they get to my desk, I can't you have to dismiss them, but I need to make sure that that kid is getting something.
What's your conversation then with the county or the county prosecutor or the school district for how it got there?
There's not really a conversation, because sometimes you don't know all the information. Sometimes the school may not know that this child is couch surfing or that they're moving from family to family because some things have happened. I'm extremely confident in all the schools that I'm dealing with that they are going above and beyond to try to solve problems to get kids in school.
And this is just their last resort?
Yeah.
Our team submitted hundreds of records requests for data detailing what types of orders judges were making in these cases. And for school districts, the total number of students referred to truancy court broken down by demographics like race and disability status. The records we got back were spotty and inconsistent. Sometimes they didn't exist, and some courts refused to release the data completely.
Thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure.
Texas Senator Royce West from Dallas was one of 3 legislators who wrote the law decriminalizing truancy back in 2015. We showed him the state data showing the rise in students being referred to court for truancy.
This is showing, since the pandemic, the number of cases that are going up.
Wow. When you begin to look at the number of cases that are being filed, we have a systemic problem that we have not addressed.
We have found no agency that tracks the outcomes for truant conduct cases in the state, and we've struggled to get consistent records on outcomes even from courts. Does that concern you?
It does concern me because we don't know what the magnitude of the problem is and whether or not it's being addressed, and that's something we need to look at with TEA.
After Judge McLean ordered Nathaniel's mom to show proof of a homeschool or online program for Nathaniel, she started looking.
Each one of them not eligible, not eligible, and not eligible.
Before the next hearing, she enrolled him in a charter school for a fresh start. Judge McLean closed the case and said Nathaniel complied with the order.
You know, they did withdraw Nathaniel. I was very frustrated because it seems like they didn't give him another chance. You know, that they didn't give him another chance. And with his special education, you know, when the one-on-one treatment, they should have gave him an opportunity to try again.
As far as new legislation, Senator West has until March to file a bill. Under the current law, school districts have to report to TEA the first occurrence of a student having excessive, unexcused absences, when the school district initiates truancy prevention measures, and when the school district refers a parent to truancy court.
For months, our team worked to obtain data from Austin ISD showing how often the district was sending students to truancy court over the years. It's the largest school district in Central Texas, and the fight for its data highlighted just how difficult it is to learn the scope of Texas's truancy system without statewide tracking. 9 months after our initial request and multiple check-ins since, in March, the district finally gave us an answer. 69 kids sent to truancy court this school year. The district's public information office did not share the count from previous years as we requested. But when we sat down with Austin ISD's new attendance director, Carla De La Rosa, she explained the year before, the district referred 5 times more students to truancy court. Why are the numbers lower this year?
I think a lot of it has to do with the tremendous work that our campuses are doing to engage students and to reach out to students. Our campus principals, our teachers.
In Austin ISD, campuses are charged with beginning preventative measures when a student has reached 10 unexcused absences in a 6-month period. According to De La Rosa, the campus is also in charge of filing a truant conduct complaint against students and parents. De La Rosa said this year, Austin ISD instituted a checklist for campuses seeking to refer students to court.
They've had to have reached out to the guardian, engaged with the student, and put in those prevention measures. So if they are not providing all that information that says we've done everything we possibly can, we've engaged in every possible way, then we are sending it back and we're not letting them submit it for truancy court.
How effective has that been?
I think it's been effective. I think we've had less cases turned away from our JPs, and I really think it helps us focus and really helps as a reminder to campuses to have you really done everything you can.
At the Capitol, multiple lawmakers are looking for solutions in truancy courts for chronic absenteeism. Our reporting on the lack of data prompted Senator Judith Zaffirini to file a bill requiring judges to report the court orders they issue against students, including orders for students to get their GED. It would also require courts to report when students who are absent because of a disability or because they're homeless or pregnant are sent to court erroneously. But that bill is not likely to pass, as it has yet to receive a hearing in the Senate. In a statement, Senator Zaffirini said the consequences of the legislature not creating a uniform truancy tracking system include remaining in the dark about how truancy cases are handled across Texas and are continuing to lack the tools to evaluate what's working. While no other bill requires judges to report what's happening in truancy court, several would make it easier for school districts to refer students there. Texas State Representative Don McLaughlin's House Bill 2947 would make it so districts don't have to show proof of preventative measures again if they want to send a student to truancy court for the second time.
The tragedy of Rob school shooting, that kid dropped out of school. Nobody watched him. He had over 100 absences. Nobody got it until he finally just dropped out of school. We missed something there.
McLaughlin's bill also requires TEA to collect data on how often schools refer students to truancy court, something not currently required.
There is no statewide tracking on it at all that we have, so we don't know the results.